How do I mess that up every time? I don't know. Okay, let's get into it. Kotaku is blacklisted. That's right, by Nintendo because Nintendo's their own beast. But basically, to break this down, what's happening in real time is Nintendo is finally being shown as being more of an activist site than an actual journalism site.
I mean,
So
that's
Nintendo's
always
just
been the case in the site's history, but go off, I guess.
well, but like now it's like official that like Nintendo they want nothing to do with Kotaku. They're like one of the only like big news sources that they just didn't send a or didn't invite to do Tears of the Kingdom gameplay stuff. So um I've always said Nintendo, not Nintendo, sorry, Kotaku just absolutely abysmal. They turned pure activists in the last couple of years. Like Derek, do you remember those articles where they were writing about there aren't enough black hairstyles in Elden Ring.
Dude, I dream about it every night. It gets me so heated.
In a game where almost everyone wears a helmet and you can't see hair
Right.
at
You
all.
don't look at the hair other than the first 5 seconds of the game before
Right.
you put armor on. Cool.
It's so pointless. Like they get so political for no real reason, and they just they have this own pity party every week, and I guess these corporations are just not having any of it, and I don't blame Nintendo. It's also kind of scary that like a company will deny a journal. Well, they can't deny them from writing about Nintendo, but they can deny them from actually like, helping them, like,
Right.
get their game out there. But yeah, like
So
I
I
oh, what?
guess seeing here, they're not able to receive pre-release review copies of games anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So, oh, that oh dear,
Well, it's
we've
kind
got
of big.
ourselves a little bit of a situation there, Kotaku. Not doing too hot, are you?
Are you? Yeah, like that's really bad for them. Like that, Tears of the Kingdom is huge. You know how much that would help their website out, like in terms of traffic.
Right. They need
Oh,
those sales.
absolutely. Yeah, and with I don't know. I guess for me, like, not many people that I know of actually still read a lot of online like video game news articles, right? Like for the most part, people are going to IGN or they're going, I don't know anybody who's like, oh man, I gotta go read that new Kotaku fucking article, and I broke it.
No, it's
Sorry.
fine. I have it's fine. That's fine. As long as it's not in the first 10 seconds, screw it. But I'd also like to point out that I have two things. One, I still read Game Informer. I wish I got the physical copies, but I don't know. I like Game Informer. That's just my drug of choice. But it's also noted that people are speculating that Kotaku is like paying for followers on Twitter and other places because, for example, on Twitter, I have it up right now. They have 2.2 million followers on Twitter, right? Their interaction numbers are abysmally small. Like their last like post, which was an hour or 2 hours ago from this episode, Bungie wins 12 million in Destiny 2 anti-cheat laws. They only have 56 likes, 5 retweets, and two comments. That's like there's no way someone that has that many number of followers has that little of a response without like bots following the account.
Right.
Yeah.
This clown paid for Twitter Blue.
Uh-oh. Stinky.
Kotaku's just like going downhill though. Like their articles just aren't interesting anymore. Like I'm just scrolling through their like the latest within like the last day, right? There's one called like people aren't buying McDonald's fries because the economy sucks. Like okay.
What? No
They
way.
also yeah. Just go click on latest on Kotaku and scroll down a little. You'll see it. Another one is just like what was the other one? Oh, please stop talking about Titanfall 3. It hurts too much. We were lucky to get the second game. Hoping for a third is torture. Like what? Like what are these articles they're trying to like pitch here?
That's not even like an opinion piece. That's just like a there's
Yeah.
there's nothing to talk about. Write something up. Again, paid. I mean, each writer getting paid, they got to put something out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just there was a big
this one I saw on like Facebook because it just like popped up. Fortnite adds the sexiest version of Anakin Skywalker. What? What does that matter?
Is it when he's killing the younglings?
Yeah, it's episode 3, obviously. Like that is the best
Okay.
looking one. But like,
Can't
what a
believe
Okay.
Anakin
stupid
killed a
article
30
to
pack
write.
of them little guys. Crazy.
You know what? That is a meme that if you ever send me, ever, it will have me dying of laughter every time if it has Anakin just like to it with the younglings right in front of him.
They need some kind of clickbait, I guess, but yeah, most of Kotaku now is just like intense, like activist garbage that no one honestly gamers don't care about. Like if you want to write about activist stuff, be it then admit to yourself that you're a political journalist and just change everything about yourself. Like I don't want to go on a gaming website and talk about like abortion laws. I just don't. Like whether
Right.
whenever which way you lean on it, it's just like I don't want to read about that. From your like perspective, I want to read games. You know, it's just it's a
What-
sad state of affairs.
What
Yeah,
are
is
these
that-
articles?
Hold
that they
on,
write?
like speaking of real quick, like I know we'll circle back to that, but yeah, like this Bridget one from Overwatch, right? Like what?
Oh,
like-
Brackley's going off.
This one article they wrote, the title
Jesus, Brackley.
is chaos ensues after the LeBron James of incels gets laid. Now former incel was virtually tarred and feathered for his life-changing event. What?
Oh, okay, yeah, and like the Bridget thing we were just bringing up. Again, this is like one of those
morally
stupid,
bankrupt and just
these stupid activist articles. They're like, Bridget shows Overwatch 2 still doesn't fully get body diversity. Like,
since when was that important to how a game plays? I
Right?
think I'm more worried about if my character has a game-breaking bug attached to it rather than if I'm meeting my diversity quota. Like, what the no.
Right.
Yeah, this is so stupid. It's really just a joke. Like, if you're like that attached to a character's diversity or body diversity, which for the record, I never even heard of that term until today. At least body, like the body form of it. Like, I feel like you need to just do something else and not play this game. I don't think
Yeah.
it's healthy for you to play this game right now.
You know, it's funny that Brackley over in chat brought up eating grass. I think they need to go touch as well as eat that said grass. Because you'd have to be on some grass in order to come up with just an absolute morally bankrupt, absolutely useless article like this. Like I must be doing something wrong because I cannot fathom that people are writing these kind of articles and getting paid money for it. Like I wish I could sit there, throw out political buzzwords, and literally have my bills paid for the entire month.
Yeah, I would do it. It's like, yeah, let's see here. I'm trying to think of whip one up now. Doom players are too thin for the game. Body shaming isn't cool. And send. Okay, we got 100,000 clicks. All right, money, please. Money, please.
Money, please.
So apparently, like, you know, TLDR, basically their problem is that her voice lines, in this case, reflect a societal stigma towards fatness. Not only do we believe that fatness is bad, we believe it is a consequence of individual weakness. Quote, obesity, we are told, is a personal failing that strains our health care system, shrinks our GDP, and saps our military strength. Writes Michael Hobbs from the Huffington Post. Okay. Like, oh my God. I don't know where to go with this. Stop. Just stop, please.
Just
Please
let
stop.
it go, man. Just look. It's
I'm
time to just put down the keyboard, get out of the office, and just drive into the sunset. It's okay. You can let go.
And while you're at it, go ahead and pick up GameStop on your way.
Oh, here we go.
We're not doing this again. I
No.
literally cannot sit through this again. Not unless we're dedicating an episode to it. I'll be
no,
willing to
no,
put up with
no.
it.
This
No.
spirals.
That's all I'm saying on it.
This spirals into just like the issue, like just like overweight people. It literally just goes from a video game problem to this line: children learn implicit bias against fat people by age 3, and children's media reflects that. Think the villainous Miss Trunchbull versus the slender Miss Honey and Matilda. Okay. As we enter adulthood,
What does this have to do with video games? Wait, did I miss a memo here?
Here's the logic here. Okay, they Bridget is a bigger character. Her voice lines apparently are fat phobic in the sense of like some kind of lines about eating or something. That leads to children believing that fat is not okay. That leads to fat not being okay is terrible for society, and you should just stop being a bad person.
While America is still experiencing an obesity epidemic. Look, man, you can have your lifestyle the way you want it, but you shouldn't be trying to force that on others.
Hold on. There's no way this person's real. This is an actual quote. It's disappointing to think that I could never be a hero in Overwatch world unless I became anorexic, developed a penchant for uncomfortable form-fitting clothing, and bowed to male society's desire to see women, quote, smile more. Geyer wrote, I'm tired of feeling that female characters in games and movies and TV and other visual media have to sell sex in order to seem strong. Dude.
What? First off, have they not seen Roadhog? Okay, that's the sexiest character in Overwatch, right? Next to the hamster, of course.
Right, of course.
Yeah, the source filmmaker stuff is pretty nice too.
How many?
But here's the thing, though, right? Like, hold on, real quick. Bridget is not supposed to be like the character model was never designed to be a plus size individual. They're a bodybuilder,
right? They're like
Bridget is a stereotypical
woman.
weightlifting bodybuilder. So like some things are like one of the other things that they bring up in the topic is that there's a conversation between Mai and who is a plus size character in Overwatch that they don't recognize. Like that's her thing, and she says, "No way! Today's my cheat day. I'm going to eat a whole apple pie and sleep." And then cheat day, is that allowed? Or no, I'm sorry. Bridget responds with, "No way! Today's my cheat day. Cheat day, is that allowed?" But either way, it's like, but it's now a defunct voice line. Like they took it out of the game. But
here's my issue. One, again, this all this is honestly just stupid. Two, I never saw May as like an overweight character. I just thought she was a normal girl. I mean,
dummy thick. I don't know.
Thick with like a few K's, but like in a good way. I don't know. I never saw her as like, or really, I'll put it this way: I don't go into a video game and say, "Damn, this person's like fat," unless their character is like their personality is around being obese, like Roadhog, right? Like it makes sense for his character. Bridget, like I don't know, I never saw her as fat or obese. I saw her as just like a woman in armor. Like
right.
Just
I don't know.
And that's the problem. You don't see her as the obese woman she should be. All right.
The world isn't fair until everybody looks as obese as I do.
Right. Everybody be fat and have a million health problems, and then
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't there a Disney movie that warned us against this kind of thing? What was it? WALL-E, I think it was.
Oh yeah,
being fat.
WALL-E?
Yeah, WALL-E.
WALL-E.
Yeah. Remember, everybody got super lazy and fat, and then couldn't walk, and the world.
Yeah, but that, I mean,
had to like scoot around everywhere.
I'm kind of
and...
striving for that though. I like that. I just sit in a chair all day.
I'm not gonna lie though, they had some friggin' yeeks on them.
Honestly, like WALL-E is still one of those like Pixar movies I don't fuck with.
They all turned into MODOK, and I thought that was the coolest thing. It's like all awesome. Oh, nice. Yeah, he's got the WALL-E. Yeah, nice. It's just again, Kotaku is like the god of making a mountain out of a molehill. They will take the smallest societal like issue and just like blow it out of proportion, and somehow relate it to video games. Honestly, it's kind of impressive. I don't know. If someone's like, "Hey, can you write an article about body diversity?" I'd just be like, in video games, I would have such trouble. I'd be like, I don't know where to begin. Like, just like piece it all together, and I wouldn't know how to write it. So like, kudos to them. Also, the person who wrote this article, let's see here. I assume it's at the start. Oh, Matthew Rodriguez. He admits at the very bottom that he says he's fat, so I can call him fat. As a fat person and a brig player, I can find some humor in her voice lines. I too love to crack a fat joke and love to emphasize how much I love food. And as someone who hates the gym, I applaud my beloved brig for balancing her trips to the weights with pies and naps. In a phone conversation, Tovar also mentioned that there is a strange sort of play that fat people can have in hearing these voice lines.
I don't know, man. Like I feel like we're at the point, right, where we have to make a fucking problem out of everyday shit, right? Like,
right. Also, apparently Kotaku reached out to Blizzard for comment. What's the comment? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Like most
Blizzard,
of these
can you
clickbait
explain?
type articles always end with like, "We have reached out to so and so for comment." What's the comment?
Blizzard's gonna.
yeah,
Yeah,
need
why
that.
didn't you
Is this how
take
you're
the?
Oh
gonna
my
drive
Why
God.
didn't you
clicks?
take the fat slider and slide it all the way to humongous, please?
we did that to Widow on her ass. Sorry.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
slider
sorry.
couldn't
We
go
got
any
negative
higher.
ass on
We slid the
Widow.
wrong slider.
We got
We
negative
already
ass on
nerfed Tracer ass.
Like,
What more do
we
you
can't
want?
have any fun anymore.
Yeah,
Willix,
you nerfed Winston cheeks, and I cannot forgive you
Yeah.
for that.
Willix, Kotaku is an online video game.
No, they're not. They're an activist. They're
They're,
an activist journalism at this point.
Actually,
They are branded as a video game gaming reviews, news, tips, and more. Similar to IGN. However, they don't hesitate to put in their own political agenda or activist ideals into their articles. So,
And it's just like it's so hard to read because like objective journalism is just out the door. It's all like what's the word? Influenced by their political views.
exactly.
And it's just like it's just gross. That's not journalism. That's just
Yeah,
just writing.
they're toxic. Absolutely, I agree. They're even since Kotaku's inception, the articles have been absolute, just
dog shit. Yeah,
pardon the French, but yeah, absolute dog shit.
Look, no, there's sometimes they have a really good investigation article, and that's when there's no like bias. It's like they did like actual work into investigating something, and then there's that or the black hair scandal in Elden Ring, which me and Derek thought was like the funniest thing.
Black hair scandal.
Yeah, we briefly mentioned it, but basically this writer is upset because there's not enough black hairstyles in Elden Ring, and me and Derek are just like, you only see your hair for like the first 10 seconds of the game. Then you put a helmet on and it's over. And she was like going on that it ruins the immersion, that the video game industry in general just has no idea how to handle black hairstyles, that they never give the options for. And it's just like
So make your own game.
I think my biggest question, right? If we're at the point in 2023 where we're supposed to be looking past race and color and everything, what is a black hairstyle?
Probably anything involving dreads or weave or anything like that.
I don't know. I mean,
but that's what I mean. Like I encounter like black people and African people all the time. They have varying different hairstyles, from afros to like some people are still doing the eraser cut, like Guile style, dreads, like
Guile
cornrows. Yeah,
Guile
Guile style.
style, is that what we're calling it?
If I go to
But
a
like that's what I
barbershop,
mean.
like,
Like
yeah,
there's
Guile
no
style.
set hairstyle for the race. That's like calling out like, hey, black people have specific hair.
They've tried to be
You
so
need to make it.
tolerant. They tried to be so tolerant that they circled right back around to being racist, and I think that's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Circles right back.
Yeah.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
It just
Like,
it's
imagine
crazy.
being so hopped up on trying to be tolerant and welcoming to other people based on race, gender, ideology, anything like that, that you circle around to labeling stereotypes and being racist.
Exactly.
And it's like,
that's what I mean.
And Kotaku can write about that stuff, but don't pretend you're a game journalist then. Just go full politics. Just say we're politics writing. Just go that route. That's fine. But if you're gonna say you're a gaming one and then talking to me about hairstyles, you lost me. You lost me. That carbonation.
Okay, so there's an easy solution for this, right?
Blonde.
Everybody shaves their head bald.
Yeah, but I look really ugly with short hair. My ears stick
You
out.
look
like an
really
elf.
ugly to begin with.
Oh, why? Why would you publicly say that?
Yeah, G-Phone's in here. He's right there.
Yeah, but he. What did someone say? Like, where's G-Phone?
He's just some random guy we picked up off the street and we just kind of paid him to take his place. Nothing too crazy or anything like that. Last I heard of him, he was looking to make it to one of our places in exchange for favors that we cannot necessarily describe on the podcast for fear of getting a copyright strike or anything like that for that kind of stuff. But yeah, Derek, if you're out there.
Coming.
I'm
on my way.
Oh yeah, that's the idea.
I know we just went on a rant about Kotaku being basically politics at this point, but with the blacklisting, which was what we were originally talking about.
Yeah.
Really, so like Rob said, basically because they posted like leaks and stuff, Nintendo's like, yeah, we're not dealing with you anymore. Which I kind of want your guys' opinion on that, because on one hand, that is, I guess, journalism. If someone leaks it to you, like, you have a source. But on the other hand, I don't really blame Nintendo for blocking a news organization that somehow got a leak from within Nintendo.
Right.
So is there a right answer here, or is it was Nintendo in the right for blacklisting Kotaku, despite the fact that they're a garbage, dog shit, stupid company?
Being able to hand out pre-review copies, so that they can actually get a review out, quote unquote review, according to Kotaku. That is a privilege. That is a privilege that can be revoked. And if they're going to keep posting leaks and whatnot, I mean, I don't really blame them. Kotaku's always been kind of crap.
From my understanding,
this is probably the nail in the coffin, and it's not the first time that they've been in hot water for posting leaks. Because
exactly.
Let's see. Over here in the article, it's saying in 2018, the website posted a list of upcoming games that included references to the Sandy Hook and Uvalde incidents. I'm not going to say exactly what happened, but I'm sure you can look for that if you're that intent on it. The list was quickly removed from the website, but if you're going to post stuff like that and not be sensitive to that kind of thing, you kind of deserve what you get.
On a side note, real quick, and then I am going to circle back, because I'm so out of it, I don't know what is considered to be a slur or not anymore, but is the word queer actually acceptable, or are you supposed to refer to somebody as either lesbian or gay or homosexual? Just curious, because it's in a Kotaku article. So, is queer acceptable? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just say, oh yeah, my buddy's gay, so he's cool.
I mean, the rules have changed so much. I literally couldn't begin to tell you.
I think they've accepted all the slang. It's not offensive anymore.
They're using it in a positive way. Yeah, I think they kind of took back the term where it's oh yeah, my friend's queer.
But ready, here's my thought process, right? If you're this Activision type group, you have a sentence that says, if you thought that gamers could be normal about two queers sharing a passionate kiss in 2023, then you would be very wrong. My mindset says, if you thought that gamers would be normal about two homosexuals sharing a passionate kiss, that's where I think would be a more acceptable statement than saying queer, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah. I don't know, but either way. But yeah, Rob. Back to what you were saying, real quick. Remind me.
Remind you of what?
What you said before I went off on my tangent.
You're gonna have
honestly,
to be more specific.
I had
I
something
was
to
just,
say too, and I
I
don't
was
remember
so
what we were
taken
talking
by
about.
your words of
No, you-
wisdom that we might as well spend a night together because I honestly don't remember a thing.
Hot.
I know you were talking about shit. Never
I
mind.
really don't
Move
remember
on.
what
Yeah,
you
I don't
were talking
remember.
about.
God damn it. And I
Anyway.
had points.
Anyway, Kotaku's terrible. Oh, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, Kotaku, like Nintendo, people on Twitter I saw were like linking other Kotaku articles that they wrote about Nintendo games. And one of them was like Metroid Dread running on emulators, and like Kotaku was the one that started that rumor about like one of the Smash Brothers DLCs had like Joker apparently saying like a racial slur or something, which wasn't true at all. So like, yeah, Nintendo has every right to blacklist them, and because all they do is just
Children's
they write
party game.
stupid
What do you
slander.
mean, bro?
Right.
Right.
This isn't
It's
journalism.
slander.
This is sensational, inflammatory articles.
Right, exactly. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's slander at this point. They might as well just be the Onion at this point.
At least with the Onion, I'd be getting a better laugh out of it.
Right, yeah, because they're actually satirical.
True.
Right.
But yes, that was the point. Is that it's slanderous of some of the things that they write, but at the same time, in terms of should they be blacklisted for revealing content, most of the time companies are under an NDA. If they get early access to a game, there are certain things that they can and cannot say about an upcoming game. Even streamers and YouTubers and stuff, right? Like content creators are given an early copy of the game. They are still under a specific NDA about what they can and cannot show until the game is out. So even if you're watching a Let's Play before the game comes out and that YouTuber was giving a specific copy of the game from the developer, there are certain aspects, and that's probably why they only go through the main story and they don't expand out, is because they can't. There's so many things that gamers, early accessors, people who go to early demonstrations or like Let's Plays and beta testing, they're all under a specific NDA. So absolutely, if Kotaku is revealing stuff that maybe they are or not under contract and just revealing leaks, specifically leaks, then yes, absolutely they should be blacklisted.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes down to leaks, it's like there's been a rumor and like a genuine leak. Like if it's super confirmed to be true, like, oh, we have an insider, then and it's leaked, then yeah, I can understand Nintendo's like, yeah, we're not going to work with you if you're going to keep pulling this crap.
Right.
On the same token, like I'm assuming like Kotaku has never actually explicitly said, hey, like we have a leaker here. I assume they're like, hey, we found information that we believe is true, you know, so take this as a rumor. And then when it ends up being true, Nintendo's like, they absolutely someone leaked to them. There's no way around it, right? So I'm gonna assume that Nintendo just like, yeah, they just don't want to deal with that anymore with leakers. And yeah, I don't necessarily blame them. But at the same time, like, would that just stop anyone from writing about rumors? Because I mean, like, when Smash is around or like about to be released, rumors go flying. You know, like some are, you know,
Right.
great guesses.
Goku's in it.
Goku's
Yeah.
right. You know, people make amazing mock-ups. So I don't know where the line is, but I'm trying to like judge this based off of principle, and it's hard to because I'm extremely biased because I think Kotaku just shouldn't exist anymore because they're just terrible. They're just terrible people with terrible articles. It's just, and the only reason I use them for like news sources is because once in a blue moon, they either have a actually good written article that's just purely factual, or most of the time they have such a dumb article that it's like, how did they actually write this and
But
get away with it?
the problem too, though, right, is it's not necessarily Kotaku. Like the company itself is allowing articles to be published, but it really comes down to the writers. Each writer is under contract and they submit their article, right? So certain writers should not be review like reviewers, right? Like if you want to be a political journalist or an Activision, like Activision, I mean, yeah, them too, activist journalism, then do that. Don't force your opinions on a website, and don't let that website should not allow you to put in your agenda.
Yeah, but I feel like they're basically doing that to get clicks at this point, because you got to
It is.
imagine the administrative staff is probably telling us drive that point home and get those clicks and revenue and whatnot from views.
This is why I semi disagree with George in the sense of, yeah, I mean, it like just stop the writer from publishing it, but how the system works, at least from what I understand it, it's like there's the head editor or editor in chief. Yeah, I think it's editor in chief.
Yeah.
He has to approve everything. So like,
correct.
Yeah. So like that right there just means that the company sucks. If their head editor, which is basically the most important part of the company.
Yeah, no. I'm not defending Kotaku by any means. I'm just saying that not all of the writers of the articles should be put under the same umbrella. That's like going to a retail store and blaming the employees for the company who is forcing things down their throats. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But at the same time, Rob said it just now. That way. Yep, that's how that works. Rob said it that
dude, it has been how many of these and we still can't figure that out.
Yeah.
I feel bad for us, honestly.
But there is somebody in charge who is basically just like, yeah, screw it, let it go through. Right. Because they want the views, they want the clicks. So while not all of the people who are writing articles for Kotaku are necessarily pushing an agenda of any sort or putting their own political or ideologies into their articles and are keeping it like purely opinionated on the video game itself and the mechanics and all of that, I feel like the heads of Kotaku do not care. They're just like, was I supposed to review it? I don't care. Yeah, that's good.
No, see,
Let me just get back to using this massive roll of $100 bills to wipe my ass real quick.
No, I think they do care, but I think they agree with what the writers are saying. Like, I think
they're all delusional. It's a whole
I
chain of command of delusion.
Delusional at this point. I also want to point out, because that was funny, Derek, you mentioned that there was this article, please stop talking about Titanfall 3, it hurts too much.
Yeah.
So Kotaku
talk about Titanfall 3. I want Titanfall 3.
I agree, but just to clarify here, like, they have a tag system. They tag this under news, but they have a tag for opinion pieces. How is this? What?
I was clicking on that before. Click on opinion and then go to commentary and just scroll through the articles because you will lose brain cells. There's one about how Ashley Graham in Resident Evil 4 was failed in the remake, and she's not this limelight character like she was in the original game.
Wasn't she more useful?
I don't know.
This go around.
Yeah.
The
they
Tetris
just like
movie
they
fumbles
write
what's
smut.
actually an incredible story.
Yeah, cool.
Listen, don't get me started on Ashley Graham in Resident Evil, okay? Like,
why? So we can have another 30-hour rant piece?
Yeah.
Also, side note, they have an article here that says Meet Lifeweaver, Overwatch 2's first hero confirmed queer upon reveal. So I assume it's publicly fine to say the word, like, in a positive note.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Chief. Who actually cares?
True. Very true.
Like, what part of Overwatch's lore has made anybody give enough of an active hell about it other than the SFM material, quote unquote?
Yeah, I struggle with that a lot, to be honest. Like, I don't know what to believe in terms of, how do I put it? Basically, on one hand, honestly, who cares about someone's sexuality in a video game where it's literally a team deathmatch, more or less, or like like there's almost no story. On the other hand, I have to assume that some very select people get very attached to a character and care every minute detail about them. I assume I'd assume it's less than 1% of actual gamers, but especially in a game where there's literally no story yet, I don't know how it matters. But you know what? Whatever, go for it. This is an opinion piece, so whatever. It's like at least this is where it belongs. This isn't like what's a word? Under like tips and guides or anything like that or review. But I wouldn't put past Kotaku to give Overwatch better reviews because there's more diversity now. That's just who they are. Like they actually let that kind of stuff affect video games. My logic is like if someone creates a game, it's the world they want to create. So like it doesn't need representation or anything like that. It's literally the world they built. And if it had all blue people in it, who cares if there's no other colors? Anyway, I go on tangent about that. So
yeah, moral of the story, Kotaku is a bunch of morally bankrupt, corrupt slime and should be excised from this earth like the virus they are.
Yeah.
Wow, that was beautiful. That was like poetry. That was beautiful. Like the vermin they are. In fact, wait, hold on a second. Wait. Nope, wrong one. Wrong. I'm sorry. That was the...
I did it.
That wasn't it. Yeah, final note on that. One, that was our longest single. This is our longest single segment as of date because this one is 40 minutes basically. And two, Kotaku sucks. Randy, article you want about us when we're big enough and we finally get our first like hit piece from Kotaku. That's what you
Dude,
know.
I can't wait to get canceled for Kotaku slander. I'm absolutely gonna go to their office and pee in the yard.
What do they know about the peak fat women body type? They're just a bunch of white men who don't understand it. There you go. I wrote their article.
I don't know how accurate that is, but
I mean, he kind of hit at least the.
They put us away for white crime.
White
yeah.
crime.